The Castleberrys have always wanted a big family.
So when we found out that we were pregnant, that was supposed to be our 5th. And our goal was to have 5. We already had 4 girls at the time. And I remember the ultrasound tech she was looking and she's like, there's 2. And I was like, 2 of what? 2 arms, 2 legs. And, no, there's 2 babies. So my husband and I were like, what? So we were hoping that maybe twin boys. The first one she said was a girl. So we were like, oh, we're gonna have twin girls. And then she said a boy. And my husband he yelled in the office, so jumping up and down. I was crying, finally we have our boy. And then 2 weeks later, we went back for the full anatomy scan. And that's when we found out that something was wrong with Mathew.
Their baby boy is diagnosed with posterior urethral valves, where an extra piece of tissue blocks the urine from coming out. This causes back pressure into the kidneys. The Castleberrys were immediately sent to a local specialist in Palm Springs.
And that specialist literally opened the file, closed it up, and referred us to Loma Linda.
Because it happens early in gestation, the kidneys actually don't form normally. So there's no chance of them forming later or healing later because they never were formed correctly.
They said, don't expect him to survive the pregnancy. What do you do when they tell you that your baby's gonna die?
Because Mathew's kidneys aren't working, he has very little amniotic fluid. Without the fluid, there's no question that Mathew will die from lung failure.
So then the idea was you would actually put in a catheter that would continuously drain the bladder into the amniotic fluid to relieve the pressure, but at the same time create an opening between Kalia and Mathew's amniotic sac so they could share fluid. But we struggled with that because of the age that the babies were then. You risked preterm birth at a very, very tiny age. They wouldn't be much more than a pound. So you were essentially jeopardizing Kalia's life to save Mathew's. And was that fair to her? Especially since we weren't sure we could save it. We really struggled with that decision. And that's why you want to bring people together who are experts in the field and bring in ethics. And I'm really blessed to be a part of this institution because we ask God for help too. What do we think the right thing to do is?
And I remember thinking, Lord, you're giving me a son. Thank you. But I ask one last thing, Lord. Let me see it. Just let me see my son. Just let me see what he looks like.
And so we decided to go for it. And Mother underwent the operation, and they cut slits in the 2 sacs, and then they shared the fluid. And then we crossed our fingers and prayed and hoped they'd stay in there long enough.
And they stayed well in my belly, fine. And they grew, and his lungs got a chance to grow. And at 31 weeks, I went into labor. It was an emergency C-section. And the next thing I know, I woke up and I just started yelling, are they alive? Are they alive? Are they alive? And my mom ran in. She's like, they're alive. He's alive. They're alive. It was a dream come true to see him.
After 5 months in the NICU, Mathew was finally able to go home. 3 years have gone by, and Mathew is a vibrant toddler, despite his health challenges.
He's so full of life.
He's goofy.
Goofy, yeah, he is. He's very goofy.
He likes to be a pass to his sisters.
Because he's the only boy.
He's the only boy.
People see him, they're like, I can't believe what he goes through.
Mathew has had 14 surgeries since he was born. They drive an hour and a half from the Coachella Valley to Loma Linda 4 times a week for his dialysis, so he can stay alive.
This year alone, he's had 2 operations just to fix his catheter line. It's scary because that's his only lifeline, and he's gone into emergency surgery. He needs a kidney to survive.
A former coworker of Angelina, Deputy Alicia Lopez, kept up to date about Mathew through Facebook and by visiting them in the hospital.
I just kind of fell in love with him, and I thought he needs help, so I'm going to try to help him.
Deputy Lopez underwent months of testing. Her kidney was a perfect match.
The thought of this kid not having a healthy life and I have the opportunity to help him, it was an easy choice.
I'm here to check in. Alicia. Go ahead and take a seat on this side. I'm starting to get a little nervous, but excited. Just happy and hoping it all goes well.
We've been waiting for this day for over 3.5 years. I'm just excited. I'm not nervous because we know all this has been in God's plan forever.
Dear Jesus, thank you so much for bringing such an amazing team together to take care of our special friend. Okay, Mama, we're going to take good care of him, okay?
The next day, both patients are recovering well. The first person Deputy Lopez wants to see is Mathew.
High five. Good job. Angelina told me that the kidney was working and that he was already using the restroom and it was functioning.
We'll just have to continue to watch his kidney function as he grows. But in general, I think his future is bright.
We're 13 weeks post-transplant now, and he's doing great. Now, it's just go, 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 go. I mean, he's 3, and he's a boy, and he wants to play and climb and jump.
Can you give me a big hug? It's crazy to see how just one body part can make a huge difference. Are you ready? I feel great. It doesn't feel any different. People automatically look down at my stomach area to see if it looks any different, and I'm like, it doesn't look any different, I promise. I kind of wish it would take more weight off, but it didn't. So.
You love to dance, huh? Loma Linda gave my babies a chance. They had hope with me. They had faith with me. They're miracle workers. Bye-bye. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today.